guys? Welcome back to my channel. So first I just have to say thank you guys so much for your understanding and your patience. For the past 3 or 4 months, I have been redoing my fitness program, like the website, completely redoing it, adding these things to the program that required a lot of time from me. And now it's all done. So I will be able to be filming a lot more now, posting a lot more, and I miss it. It was nice to have a break, but I really do miss it. So anyways, I want to kind of go into the fitness program stuff a little bit more with you guys. But first, let's talk about what we made today. So this is a turkey Tetrazzini, which is basically a turkey and noodle casserole. I actually used chicken today. We had some leftover turkey, but it took me too long to do the video and we ate it. And so I had to go get a rotisserie chicken from Costco, which, by the way, love the rotisserie chickens there. If you have a Costco membership, it's like $5 for like a much larger bird than you get at other grocery stores. So I put about like 3/4 of the whole chicken in here, along with some fun pasta. I can't remember the shape, but it's got like this really tight spiral. And we've got some Madeira wine, which is similar to Marsala wine in there, some stock, mushrooms. We got a few kinds of cheese. I added some grated goat cheese that I found at the store. The recipe calls for cream cheese and Parmesan. I used the New York Times recipe because I'd never made turkey Tetrazzini before, or chicken Tetrazzini. So I kind of like deviated off of their recipe, but used some of the ingredients that I thought were like more classic for it. Switched up the wine, kind of switched up the noodles. And then the top is some extra brioche, some leftover brioche bread that I had that I turned into crumbs, and some more Parmesan and some almonds. And it's got this really lovely crust. Some of the noodles on top are like a little charred. They're gonna be crispy. It's gonna be delicious. Oh, very excited. And while I'm getting into this, while I was putting like the cheese in, you probably were like, oh, that looks like curdled or whatever. It just hadn't like fully melted yet, and I actually prefer like finish melting it in the oven because it slowly comes up to temp instead of like blasting it with heat, especially cheese. It's really not good and it can make it separate that way. So now it's looking super creamy, super delicious. I'm hoping the noodles are cooked all right because I kind of underdid them a little more than I should have because I love al dente. Alrighty. I feel like this is going to be really complicated to eat. Oh, so much steam. Can you guys see that? Oh my gosh, that's so good. Definitely has that casserole vibe. I want to get like a big sort of, oh yeah, there we go. Oh man. I already took my first bite, so I just forgot to say cheers. Cheers! Mm. I love the flavor of Madeira wine. It is really similar to Marsala. It's got this sweetness to it, but really eats generally pretty savory. The amount of chicken or turkey or whatever you put in here, I didn't even put the full amount that the recipe said to. I think it's 3 full cups. And I probably added 2-ish, maybe it was around 3. I eyeballed it, like I do with everything, pretty much. Get a mushroom. I knew these noodles were gonna be difficult to eat. They just like have real backbone to them, you know? But they're so fun, and I've had them in my pantry forever, and I'm like, now's the time. Now's the time. I feel like I'm never gonna use them unless I use them right now. It's not too cheesy tasting either, surprisingly, because there's a lot of cheese in here. And the cream cheese is not overly tangy. It really just made it nice and creamy. I think balanced out the saltiness from the Parmesan. The almonds on top are great. I don't know if I've ever topped, except for like green bean casserole. I don't think I've topped a casserole with almonds before, but I love the crunch. They get nice and toasted. This is the first time I've had the Josh Pinot Noir, by the way. I buy this a lot. It's literally always on sale, the cab anyways. But this is nice. It feels like not too light, which I like. I'm not huge on like super light Pinot Noirs, and I could go like all the way through like a really full cab. When it comes to white wine though, I do not like the more full-bodied whites. Like I'm not a Chardonnay person. The noodles are cooked like great, not mushy or falling apart. I'm always so wary of baking pasta. A lot of people tell you to just undercook pasta by like a couple minutes, and I think you should like half cook it if it's gonna be in the oven for that long. I don't know what my hair is doing. I blow dried it when it was like 75% dry already. Doesn't look bad. Getting like hot though. I'm taking this off. It's just a sports bra underneath, but it's like a bathing suit. It's not freak out or anything. I feel like this would be really good with rosemary. You add it just like right at the beginning with the mushrooms. Let it kind of perfume the whole thing. Be careful though, because rosemary is very overpowering flavor. It can be. But yeah, that would be really good in here. Dang it. All right, so I did want to chat with you guys about kind of my journey in like fitness, if you want to call it fitness, eating / fitness, so you can kind of see why I decided to do what I did other than everybody always asking me. For the longest time, I didn't work out. I grew up in a house where my mom made enough for like 8 people every time she cooked. There were 4 of us, maybe 5 if you count my grandfather who did live with us for a long time. So I was accustomed to not really eating breakfast. I wasn't really a huge breakfast person ever. I was just like never really wanting food in the morning. But my mom would pack me tuna sandwiches because I'm not a deli meat person. She packed me tuna sandwiches and, you know, a bunch of other stuff. But these tuna sandwiches, I mean, the amount of mayo that they had in them was crazy. And so I'd have that pretty heavy lunch at school. And I'd go home and my mom would more often than not have made something for dinner that was super cheesy or super creamy. She loved making Italian food, so she would make like penne alla vodka or fettuccine alfredo, or just like, you know, she's throwing butter, she's throwing salt, she's throwing everything in there. It was always delicious. And then I would eat that. And so for years and years, that's what I knew. I knew, oh, I eat this lunch my mom gives me. I eat this dinner that my mom makes for me. And I didn't work out. I hated working out. I hated like participating in sports. Yeah, I would really hate participating in sports in school because I hated the training for the sports. I was on the track team in middle school and they made us run for 20 minutes straight one day. And I like hid behind a tree. Just like marched in place. I'm like, can they see me? Can they see me? I'm like, I'm not a long distance runner. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm 100-meter hurdles. By the time I was in high school, my body had started to change a little bit because I wasn't big at all. Like I was thin, but I had a little extra meat on my bones that I truly hated. And this is nothing against people that like having a little meat on them. I feel like it's a personal preference thing a lot of the time. You know, whatever makes you feel the best internally and externally, emotionally and physically, whatever you prefer, that's what you should do. But I did not prefer this. And a lot of it has to do with, you know, comparing yourself to other people and, you know, all the popular girls looking a certain way, all the people that that your crushes liked looked a certain way. Even when I went to college in my sorority, it's like, I mean, I don't know how much they ate, but people ate salads every day for lunch and they were in the gym all day. So I just, you know, were they on negative calories? I don't know. So when I got to college, I was already feeling like kind of uncomfortable in my skin, in my clothes. This is also at a time when low-rise jeans were like super popular. Death to low-rise jeans, seriously. They were just the most unflattering things on me. And I've got a butt, right? So anytime I'd buy jeans, they were like no stretch, low rise, just accentuating all like the worst parts of me. You know, it was the clothes, it wasn't me. I wish that leggings and high-waisted things were popular back then. And of course, at that point, I'm not in my parents' house anymore. My mom's not packing my lunch. She's not making me dinner. However, you're in college. You're drinking like your calories worth in alcohol every single day. So anyways, before I get too off on a tangent here, this whole concept of like calories and macros and everything too, but like calories had never even crossed my mind. So fast forward, I had literally struggled with this for most of my life. Just question mark, not knowing what to really do other than, oh, people tell you to go to the gym. So I'd have these like month stints where I'd go to the gym and I'd like go down a row of machines at the gym because I didn't know what the hell I was doing there. You know, I'd like look on the thing and like, I don't know which machines to do together. I don't know, do I do cardio before, cardio after? How long do I do cardio? All these things. And I'm like, oh, well, if I do that, I must, you know, lose weight. And inevitably, if I lost 5 pounds or whatever, I'd gain it all right back. Because I wasn't even sure how I lost it in the first place, honestly. I mean, sometimes it was like a cleanse, but with the cleanse, you're probably eating like 600 calories a day, something just ridiculous. Like, of course you're gonna lose weight on a cleanse because you're eating like nothing. Fast forward to when I was like 26 or 27, that's when I started like working out. I had started with my ex-boyfriend actually, going to the gym with him, hated it. Same situation, they had like an indoor track. I'd run around the track, I felt like a hamster on a wheel, you know. I'd go down to the machines and pretend to do things, but not really. And then I found CrossFit. It was really a boot camp type place at first. But I absolutely loved that I could go and not think about anything. And they like really, really lay into you as far as like how difficult the workouts are. I mean, you get your soul crushed. Every part of your body gets worked. You're sore in places you would never even imagine. And the whole thing is like very like community group oriented. Sometimes there's team workouts. It's always against some kind of a clock, whether you have to complete something for time or you have to do a certain, like as many things as you can within a certain amount of time. So I loved that aspect of it because it made it like a game. It made it fun. And I knew I was just like getting my day's worth in really a reasonably short period of time. I mean, I was there for like an hour, but that included like warming up, usually a strength portion, and then our workout, and then like cooling down and whatever. So the workout itself was sometimes like 10 minutes. No joke. And those were honestly sometimes the worst. 10 minutes, you feel like you were gonna die afterward. So I stayed doing CrossFit. I would still even consider myself doing CrossFit now, but I don't go to a CrossFit gym. So I can't really say I do CrossFit, but I do the same type of thing that made me fall in love with working out. But just a word on that, just because I do CrossFit style workouts or whatever, just is not the reason that somebody's able to stay in shape. Is it going to increase the amount of calories you burn in a day? Yes. If you're eating the right amounts of certain things, could you get stronger? Yes. Working out by itself is never something that's going to help you and get you where you want to be all on its own. For most people, it is an energy in to energy out thing. So if I do nothing all day today, I might burn, like if I literally laid in bed all day, I might burn like 1,000 calories just from, existing. If I ate less than 1,000 calories, I maybe would lose weight if I consistently did that over a period of time. If I did the same thing and ate my normal 3 meals a day, let's call it, let's pretend I'm back in high school again, say I had a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner, just the way I would normally on a day that I just laid in bed all day. Well, that would, at least for me, add up to around 1,500 to 2,000 calories, which is well over what I burned that day. So if I consistently did that for an extended period of time, I would gain weight. So when you're working out, you're adding on to that calories burned for the day. So it really matters. I know people say it all the time. It's like abs are built in the kitchen. It's kind of true. I mean, you have to work them out to get muscles. Eating the right amount of food for you and the right kinds of food. And when I say the right kinds of food, I mean like protein. Your muscles are made of protein. Like your body is made of protein. If you're not eating enough protein, you can't build on to that. It's like Legos. So now that I follow this philosophy, and it's not just about calories, and I'm not like, I don't make myself crazy over it. I just know, first of all, now, this is a tracker watch. I know generally what I burn every day. So I know how much to eat every day. And because I have been tracking for a few years or so now, like really like putting my head down and trying to like learn about what's in all of my food. Ever since I started doing that, I don't feel guilty anymore. I don't feel like I'm out of control. I know that I can go and enjoy myself doing a variety of different things. And I know how to get back to the place that I want to be. I know how many days I can go over my calories and have it like affect me or not affect me. So like being armed with that kind of information has completely changed my life. You've got these like things in the back of your head that society just kind of drills in, like carbs are bad, cheese is bad, fat is bad, all these things are bad. And if you eat them, you're gonna gain weight. Your cholesterol is gonna go up, you're gonna have a heart attack, you're gonna die. It's just not the case, guys. It's not the case. And so now, like I was saying, I'll keep track of my overall calories generally, especially on days when I film. I love to see the protein content and everything I'm eating. So like the chicken, you would never think pasta is a protein, right? Because it's mostly a carb, but it has protein in it. A lot of pastas are like 8 grams, 9 grams of protein per serving. I'm a big eater. I have multiple servings at once. So I'll have like half a pound of pasta. That's like 35 grams of protein. And a hack that I actually haven't done yet, but I'm really excited to, kind of expensive, but cooking your pasta in bone broth, it's got 10 grams of protein per cup. So if you cooked your pasta in like one of those one pot situations and it soaked up all of that bone broth, you're talking it like doubling the protein content. So that's the kind of stuff that I like to learn about now. I don't look at my food and say, this is bad and this is good. Like you look at spinach and you say, this is good. And you say, look at cheese, this is bad. This is not how we should be looking at food. That whole fear-based way of eating, it's just not sustainable. Nobody enjoys that. What a miserable existence. Keeping track of my micronutrients, my vitamins and minerals. Now that I like can look at things and identify like generally like what's their nutritional profile, what kind of vitamins and minerals does this have? Does it have fiber? Does it have protein? How many calories does a tablespoon of olive oil have? The more you learn just about things in general, the less scared you are of them, right? So for me, this is a very educational thing. And that's like kind of the crux of my program, is that I do my best to give everyone as many helpful tools as I can. Like, and I think that they are super helpful. But at the end of the day, you have to do a little bit of the work yourself, especially on the front end. Like you have to look at something and be like, all right, I'm going to track every single thing in this because I want to know exactly how many calories this is. I want to know how I feel after I eat a certain amount of it. If you want to like portion things out for yourself so you know this is what 500 calories feels like when I'm having a high fat meal versus a low fat meal, that sort of thing. So it's been tough to get people to really like see the light enough to feel like putting in that work is going to be worth it. The biggest change is in my mind. My mindset, that whole, like I said before, that not feeling guilty about eating anything, about eating mac and cheese, about whatever. Just still showing people that I'm not spitting my food out is all. So anyways, guys, I'm truly awful at selling things. I hate being sold to. I hate salespeople. I hate sales calls. I hate sniffing out that someone's trying to sell me something. I hate it. And so in turn, I hate selling things. And if I can be honest, like whatever kind of workout that you do, as long as you really enjoy it, that's the best one for you. You know, our workouts are my favorite, and so that's why I put them in. It's not for everybody though. I mean, some people love just like working out at a slower pace by themselves in a gym. Some people love like spin classes exclusively, like Peloton or whatever. I hate spin classes, by the way. I don't know if you guys, how you feel about them, but it hurts my crotch. Like, very uncomfortable. I can't stand it. And I feel like it's just so one note, you know, like I need my mind to be distracted in like several different ways while I'm working out because I feel like it makes it go faster. Anyways, whatever you find that works for you, fitness-wise, workout-wise, fantastic. Just know that food also makes a difference in whether you're going to lose weight, gain weight, or stay the same. Build muscle, lose muscle. And in my opinion, the best way to have control and know whether you are heading towards the right goal or not is if you start learning about your food. And that is what the program that I made is all about. I kind of love it, especially now. I'm obsessed with the new things that we have. Oh my gosh, guys, I did this whole video series. It took so long. It took so long. It was like writing a research paper because I had to write scripts for every single video and then film them. I ended up passing off the editing to somebody else because I was just like, I too much, too much. But that's super helpful. Just like basics on calories and macros, water and sleep, how to balance out different days, which is like one of the biggest ones, I think. There's one on weight set point, which is like the weight your body prefers to be at, and how to kind of proceed so that your body doesn't like fight back. Added stuff about tracking in there because people are just so overwhelmed by it. And like, it's not as bad as people think it is. And there are things that you can do to make it just like way less awful, or it's not even awful. It just feels overwhelming. Just the thought of it. Maybe because it's something that they haven't done before. But I think people also have this like perfectionist mentality about a lot of things. And they want to either get it right, like 100%, or they're gonna like throw in the towel and not do it at all, which I can totally relate to. And that's why I probably wouldn't have done it like 5 years or so ago. But cooking, actually, doing more cooking and failing however many times and needing to just like kind of deviate this way, that way, or the other way has really like loosened me up in the perfectionism realm. And so now I feel like I'm able to be way more loosey-goosey with that whole calorie counting thing, not making myself crazy, because it's just not worth it if you're gonna make yourself crazy. I just like scared myself when my watch scraped on the table. The other thing that my friend, like, I don't even know if she's in the program, but I was telling her about the program, telling her about like how I eat, the calories and macros, blah, blah, blah. And I was telling her about the lists that I put on the website, which another thing, so time consuming, guys. There's a website that pulls all their data from the government, a website called myfooddata.com. And it is just like a cornucopia of information. Like, it's just so much helpful information. You can look up any food and it'll give you all of the info on it. And I'm like, well, I just want to know what the top foods are. Like, if I'm like, oh man, I really feel like I need to eat more vitamin C, or when you track and you realize, oh, I never eat magnesium. Well, maybe I need to know like what foods have magnesium in them. So essentially I just like made a list of foods high in every single vitamin and mineral, protein, like different kinds of proteins, vegan proteins, etc. I made a grocery list, fiber, omega-3 fatty acids. I'm like, this is gold. And I added calories to it, and you can sort through everything. So if you've got like 100 calories left and you need to get a certain thing in, you can sort by calories to be like, all right, I've got this many calories left and I can have this, that, and the other thing. I just like, oh my gosh, what a resource. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think most people are looking for a quick fix though, which this is not. In fact, I prefer if everybody made it less quick than they'd expect to lose weight like in any other way. Like the slower the change, the more likely you are to sustain it, both in that whole like weight set point we were talking about earlier, to just like not depriving yourself, you know, you're not like shocking your body into like not eating and then like eating all of those things over again. I should have put some spinach in here too. I wanted to be fair. I thought we had some and it did not look good. So I left it out. I'm like, oh, I can't put like wilted looking spinach in this, but oh my gosh, it'd be so good. And you get the added, like, there's a little bit of protein, some iron, vitamin K. Cheese has protein too though. It's like, I hate when people hate on cheese. Like, cheese has good things about it too. That's how I want people to look at food, based on their nutritional profile, without any sort of bias from what the world has told them about any of it. Because it's just such BS. It's such BS. It's like all because they're trying to sell things. And maybe that's why I hate selling things myself, is because like I feel like people lie to you They don't tell you the truth because they want you to buy something. And it's annoying. So anyways, guys, obviously, I would love for you to be in my program if it sounds like it's something that you would enjoy and that would be helpful for you. I will put the code for a 7-day free trial right here if you guys want to try us out risk-free. All right, I'm done talking about that now. It is something that has completely changed my life specifically. I love food, and I just have always wanted to be able to enjoy it this much without worrying about what it was going to do to me. So the chicken, I'm super happy I decided to do what I did. So my husband got the rotisserie chicken from Costco last night, and when it was still warm, I took the whole thing apart, shredded it all up, comes apart like super easy that way. And I feel like it just like looks nicer when you shred it when it's hot. Put it in a Ziploc, put it in the fridge, and I'm happy that I did that because it was still like fairly cold, like not cold, but it was definitely not room temperature or warm or anything. And I added that into the pasta and everything. And because the chicken had to like come back up to temperature, I feel like it was less likely to overcook it, you know, versus if I had like heated it up or if it was already hot when I put it in here, then it would have just continued cooking like immediately. Whereas here it probably took 10-15 minutes before it actually got like warm. So the chicken stayed like really nice and tender, it didn't dry out. The pasta ended up being cooked really, really well. Definitely a stick to your ribs kind of meal, just like a casserole should be. I like this, not as much as the cab, but I like it. All right, I'm gonna have one more bite actually, but I feel great. I had, this little bitty over here. And what I'll do, like giving you guys all my secrets, mind you though, you need to know like your specifics in order to make this kind of system work for you. So what I'll do is I'll like tally up all the calories for like this whole thing. And then I'll just kind of guesstimate percentage wise what I can have or what I ended up having, depending whether I like track it before or after. And if I end up tracking after the fact and I ate more than I should have, it's not the end of the world, guys. I do not count it as a fail. I kind of look at things over the course of a week, you know. So if I ate too much on Monday, just eat a little less on Tuesday. All right, last bite. And you guys are like, stop talking about your fitness program. Delicious. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope that that was a helpful talk for you. I am gonna try to film a couple more times before I leave. I know I'm 100% gonna be filming like on Thursday, I think this week, it's Tuesday today. Hoping to film like 2 more times after that because I'm not gonna film when I'm in Florida visiting for the holidays. It's just too much. And I wanna enjoy my time with my family. We're going to Peru. Did I tell you guys we were going to Peru? We're going to Peru. We're going on the 29th, I want to say, whatever that Wednesday is. So we'll be in Peru for like a week and a half. I'm gonna do Machu Picchu. And I would love to document Peru for you guys. Do like, you know, my little camera videos, not every single meal, but food here and there, just so you guys can see like the general like gist of the trip. But it does really stress me out because I become a perfectionist in that way. Like I need to know like how the video's gonna go and the shots I'm gonna need, and you just never know what you're dealing with until you get there is really the biggest thing. So I'll do my best. I'll do my best to make a Peru video. And then I will be back the end of the first week in January, I want to say. And yeah, next year, really gonna go for it. We're gonna be filming a lot more. The first month in January, I do have to get a procedure done again, so I'll probably be in bed for up to a week. I don't know. And we don't have to go into that. But I am like, now that I'm done redoing Cake 2, fully gonna be focusing on this because I love it and I love sharing it with you guys, and yeah, I actually miss it now. Got a little burned out there for a while, but I miss it. All right, guys, I'm really leaving now. Thank you so much for joining today. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys coming and dedicating some of the time of your day. Like, I just don't have enough hours in the day, and the fact that you guys give some of those hours or minutes or seconds to me just means everything, and means that I can continue doing this for a living. So thank you so much. Comment below what you guys thought. Are you a casserole fan? Have you ever made like a tetrazzini like this with chicken or turkey? I feel like you really do need like a lighter meat, because if you used like a braised beef or a steak, I feel like that would just be so rich, like just way too rich. Comment below what comfort foods you want to see me make in the winter. Winter is like coming up fast. It's almost here, and I will be focusing on comfort foods when I return for sure. I think I'm just gonna like start now. Goodbye fall. We had fun. We made pumpkin everything, and now it's time for some new things. Red sauce, casseroles, just everything that warms your soul. All right, guys, on that note, I'm just so happy that it's 1 p.m. and we're done filming right now. The sun isn't going down for a few more hours. I mean, let's all just give me a pat on the back. Reach to the screen, give me a pat on the back. This doesn't happen often, but when it does, we should acknowledge that we did good. We did good. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining. It's like extra long video, and I will see you guys.